What goes in must come out, or else. Or else what? You'll end up with a problem like SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Christosik, aka Dr. Good Carbs, and today I'm going to talk about the number 2 cause of SIBO. If you happen to miss the number 1 cause, be sure to look at the links below to find out what that number 1 cause is. And by the way, if you enjoy this video today, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel, tell your family and friends about us. So, SIBO is when you have bacteria that normally lives inside of the large intestine. It travels on its way up into the small intestines, and so you have good bacteria, possibly, and maybe even some bad bacteria that's now living in the small intestines. We don't want to have any bacteria living up in there, so that becomes a problem. Well, what does it cause? Well, the symptoms of SIBO are problems with bloating and gas and indigestion, loose stools, diarrhea, fatigue. These are all the symptoms that people have when they have irritable bowel, as well as other kinds of problems. Now, the thing about it is that the bacteria now living in the small intestines will begin to gobble up some of the nutrients that you need. Things like vitamin B12 and fat-soluble nutrients like A, D, E, and K, and essential fatty acids like what you get from fish oils or flaxseed oil. These nutrients start to get gobbled up by the bacteria, as well as iron, and you can end up with fatigue and other kinds of problems from it, anemia as well. So what should normally happen is you want your food, as it goes in the mouth and it travels down through the intestinal tract, you want that food to be able to be propelled through the intestinal tract by what's called peristaltic waves. This is the wave-like motion that propels the food through the intestines. And when you eat, that's normally what happens when you eat food. The intestinal tracts propel the food through it. And when you don't eat, or what we call fasting, is when it occurs, this peristaltic waves occur in the small intestine. So it's just the opposite of what happens in the large intestines. So why is that important? Well, for a couple reasons, okay? When you have the peristaltic action inside of the small intestines, it's basically your body trying to house clean, trying to get rid of particles of food and also harmful microorganisms. And for example, when you're not eating and you start to have the grumbling in your intestinal tract and you think that's because you're hungry, actually that's the peristaltic waves that are actually working. That's a good thing. So don't consider those grumblings hunger pain. Now, what the problem is that people are always eating. And so many people are, by the way. And so what happens is you don't give your body a chance to do this efficient house cleaning. And if you have harmful bacteria living in the large intestines, or even good bacteria, it can start to move up into the small intestines. So that is why you don't want to to be eating all the time. Give your body some rest and let that food propel through the small intestines during that fasting phase. It happens about every 90 to 120 minutes, so give your body a rest in between when you take food in. Now, another thing that people are making a mistake is they're following this FODMAP diet. Now, I know people get some benefits from it, usually short term, but it's such a restrictive diet. It's no fun. But let me tell you another reason why it's not a good idea. Remember, the bacteria in the small intestine shouldn't be there. And yes, the FODMAP diet starves the bad bacteria, so it doesn't allow the bad bacteria to grow. But it doesn't also give the bacteria the chance to grow in the large intestines. So as a result, because you've limited the amount of carbs that you're taking in, the large intestines now doesn't have a good diversity of microorganisms, of bacteria living in there, because bacteria love different foods just like we do, and you get different types of good bacteria living in the large intestines if you eat a wide variety of foods, including the FODMAP foods, especially the FODMAP foods. So I encourage you, don't do that. Even though that a lot of SIBO doctors that are treating SIBO recommend that FODMAP diet, I don't recommend it. I recommend two things for SIBO, for irritable bowel as well. That's number one, getting rid of the hidden food allergies, which I talk about in the number one cause underneath, again, in this link. And the second thing is the making sure that you have enough time in between meals to fast, to not eat for at least a couple hours in between meals. So there you have it. The number one cause is food sensitivities. Number two cause is eating too often. So I encourage you to make sure that you're getting foods that are going to really feed that good bacteria. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the herbs that help to eliminate the bad bacteria living in the large intestines as well as the small intestines. And if you have SIBO, you want to get rid of them in the small intestines as well as the large intestines. Now, the herbs that are recommended, which actually have been proven to work better than antibiotics, which, by the way, many doctors will treat SIBO with antibiotics. I don't recommend that either. The herbs work better, and I can prove it, and I'll put a link for you on the article below proving that the herbs work better than antibiotics. The herbs are things like bearberry and Oregon grape and golden seal, and these herbs are powerful, and oregano oil. These are powerful antimicrobial herbs, and they don't disturb the good bacteria, which antibiotics do. So that's number one thing. And the second thing I want you to know is after you've done about a 3-month course of taking these herbs on a regular basis for about 3 months, then you want to stop those herbs and begin to use what we call prokinetic herbs. Now, these herbs help to encourage that house cleaning in the small intestinal tract. So herbs like peppermint and ginger, these are very powerful prokinetic herbs. So I encourage you to use those after you've gone through the treatment of helping to kill off the bad bacteria. So until next time, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. And by the way, you can become an Inner Circle member of our Facebook group by going to our link on the other side of medicine, and you'll be able to become part of our Inner Circle Facebook group, which is for free, by the way. It won't be lasting long for free though, so you can get that membership now. Encourage you to come on back next time. Until then, I'm Dr. Christosic, aka Dr. Good Carbs, and here's to your health.